We're gonna actually dive in timing. So on behalf of Salesforce and EMS Consulting, I want to thank you all for everyone who has joined today. So over the next hour, we are going to dive into how to think creatively when utilizing Experience Cloud and create a better experience for your customers. So we are going to just dive right in. From agenda today, we're going to start with our Salesforce presenters, as well as introduce the EMS Consulting team. We're going to dive into what Experience Cloud is, show a few live examples, and hopefully follow up with a little bit of extra time for some live questions at the end. If you do have any questions while we are presenting today, please type them in the chat and I will try and monitor them, make sure that we share with the team or address them afterwards. If not, please reach out to your Salesforce AE as our next steps and follow-up. So very quickly, for those of you who I have not met, my name is Cooper Hart. I am an account executive here at Salesforce. With me, the Salesforce team, I have Reid Huston, who is a lead solution engineer for the Experience Cloud team. Reid is actually going to be walking us through the benefits of Experience Cloud and a few creative examples as well. We also have the EMS consulting team. And so at this point, I want to introduce JP. I'm going to pass it off to him for their introductions.
Thanks so much, Cooper. It's so good to be with everybody here and so good to be partnering with Salesforce again on this incredibly transformational platform. We're excited to show you a few examples today. I'm a regional vice president here for financial services account specifically. Our firm is focused solely in financial services. So again, we are incredibly excited about the opportunity for collaboration, not only on today's webinar, but we look forward to any opportunities to have more in-depth discussions with you following today's session as well. Linda Reid is our Chief Innovation Officer. Linda, a quick introduction and hello from you. And then Jason, just to close us out. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Linda Reid, Chief Innovation Officer, EMS Consulting. I head up the technical innovation team and also play Chief Architect, Business Architect. Been in the business for many years, sitting in the customer's shoe as far as building out Salesforce, implementing Salesforce, and just love the platform and building on that platform. Jason?
Yeah, thanks, Linda. So Jason Syder here. I am a senior Salesforce developer and technical lead at EMS. I have been in the Salesforce space for almost 5 years. Really fell in love with the platform, working with it, and had to get in and get to know it a little bit better. I focus primarily on front-end development and Experience Cloud implementations. So I've got a lot of experience standing these types of implementations up, and definitely one of my favorite things to work on.
We won't take too much time from today's session. I think the meat and potatoes is definitely going to be on the demonstrations that our team has prepared, as well as some of the creative examples that Bree will be showing the audience. But EMS Consulting has been in the industry now, technology management consulting, implementation, systems integrations, when I say in the business, for 23 years. And over that time, I think we have become quite adept at a couple of things. 3 of the things I think are very important for our audience today and the members of the folks and stakeholders who are evaluating Salesforce broadly and certainly evaluating Experience Cloud is we do a lot of things very well. 3 of those things are enterprise level applications to something like an Experience Cloud or a Salesforce CRM, or even a marketing cloud marketing automation tool. More importantly than just that enterprise specific application is, integrations, right? To source systems where you're getting data in and out of core systems and utilizing Salesforce as that system of truth, that engagement layer, right? So that you have that customer 360, that utopic state. And your operators and producers aren't, swivel chairing between one system and the next. And then the third, perhaps most important piece is change management, right? A lot of these programs, they really live and die based on user adoption. So we make sure we do a lot of training, a lot of communication cadence, a lot of rollout, everything to make sure that the company and all of the operators, producers, executive managers, marketers, whomever is utilizing the platform is not only aware of what's being rolled out, the benefit, the value, but how do they manage and maintain that system moving forward. So 23 years of doing that, we've become quite skilled at those 3 areas. On the right-hand box side, I'll just hit on a couple of points. We've been a MuleSoft implementation partner since 2013. Actually, prior to the Salesforce acquisition, we used to be a MuleSoft reseller as well. A lot of deep integration experience. And we are very proudly like to just mention that we have a very high and I'd say above industry average customer satisfaction score. And I know if there's marketers in the room, it's not quite an NPS, but it is a survey that Salesforce sends all of our customers at the end of all of our project deployments. And the only reason I bring that up for the audience today is that anything we're going to do, anything we're going to consult on, anything we're going to develop, even well before our fingers touch the keyboard, comes from that place, a place of successful project deployments previous to your project. So again, we are extremely excited to be here and to be partnering with Salesforce on this incredible initiative. We look forward to the conversation, and happy to be available as an additional arrow in everyone's quiver and answer any questions later on in the presentation as time permits.
Awesome. Thanks, JP. And at this time, I'm actually going to pass it off over to Bree, as I mentioned, our Salesforce lead engineer. And we are going to dive into exactly what Experience Cloud is and how we can get you guys thinking creatively about it. So at this point, Bree, pass it off to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Cooper. Nice to be talking to everyone on this session today. I'm really excited to really dive into the details of Experience Cloud. So as Cooper said, my name is Reid, and I'm an Experience Cloud specialist. And what really is one of my passions around my focus around Experience Cloud is that it's really about connecting our external constituents to some of the data-driven interactions. And you can really think of, our digital leaders and our customers and what's really driving the expectations of their technology, whether it's something that they use in their personal life. I love the example of kind of the Amazon comparison, making it easy and intuitive. And that level becomes kind of what our consumers, whether they are utilizing a technology for their job and how they get work done, or whether they're consuming technology in their day-to-day. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement in how we deliver that technology and really improve how people are able to utilize it for many, many different things. And some of those areas that I think are really friction points for a lot of our producers, our agents, our clients right now is that feeling of disconnected, having kind of a slow experience, not having visibility or data-driven design that really powers that interaction. So Cooper, next slide. This is really where Salesforce as a technology, there we go. Experience Cloud has really been the method for delivering a connected digital experience. So again, if you think about Experience Cloud, it's connected directly into the Salesforce C360. It's driven by all of the information that we have in order to surface that at the right time for the right user in the right context and really drive that digital experience. Whether it's, a client portal, whether it's a full-blown website, whether it's a mobile application, even microsites, and connected back into some of the things that really drive value as an organization, such as flows or even our storefronts to power those experiences and connecting to the front, middle, and back office. And so you can think of, we lovingly say the artists formerly known as communities, because Experience Cloud is really much more than just a landing page for a community portal. It can be many different things depending on your use case and need and be driven by that underlying data and technology. All right, next slide, please. So the reason that, we're kind of expanding out, not just within insurance and the financial services industry, is that there's so much innovation with Experience Cloud across many different industries. So you can see here, we have over 22,000 customers, 57,000 live sites, and these are sites that are being launched every day. And one of the beauties is this could be technology that you're coming in contact with, again, through engaging in some of these interfaces. And we're going to talk in just a minute about some of my favorites. But again, there's lots of innovation from companies across industries and how they deliver that connected customer, partner, agent, broker experience. And again, driven by technology. All right, next slide, please. All right, so this kind of brings us to where we win together. And I think this is a large focus of our session today is thinking outside the box a little bit in how we deliver those experiences, because we want them to be connected to both data that already exists, to processes, to front, middle, and back office, and really breaking down those friction points in our customers' experience to provide a lot of clarity. And again, an experience that in their day-to-day, they're already comparing that user experience to And then cohesive and cooperative kind of go hand in hand. So being able to kind of have a platform, if you will, with Experience Cloud that allows you to drag, drop, configure, but then also extend into some really deep customizations that are pixel perfect and brand aligned. And I know that EMS is going to talk a little bit more about that today. And then again, cooperative, opening up in many different shapes and ways that we're able to kind of scale out depending on what your goal is for delivering that experience to your constituents. And I believe with that, Cooper, that should be my last slide. So what I'm actually going to do, rather than taking you into a demo environment, I think one of the greatest things that we can do in Experience Cloud is we have customers who are live on this today. We can visit their websites. You can visit their website. And I'm going to take you through a couple of examples. And then we have a little bit of a follow-up for those that are wanting to maybe get their hands on the keyboard and experience something. So let me go ahead and share out my screen here. And what you should be seeing, and again, rather than staying within the financial services vertical, I think one thing to call out is that this is a huge tool for a lot of our customers as far as innovation and differentiation. And so I think by going outside of the financial services and insurance industry, our goal is to really show you how some of the most innovative companies are using Experience Cloud to deliver a very thoughtful experience to their end users. So what you should be seeing on my screen is the Hulu Help Center. So hopefully everyone on the call has come across Hulu at some point in time. But Hulu had kind of a unique approach to how they wanted to deliver a help center. So one of the big things, and again, this is driven by knowledge and service behind the scenes, is that they have a public facing element to this help center that allows any consumer to kind of navigate, to find their questions, to go and search, to interact with chat and bots, or to go ahead and log into their account right from all within this experience. So again, it's driven all on the Experience Cloud platform. One of the other things, if you think about kind of their target audience, Hulu users, for the most part, are not going to be accessing the Help Center on a desktop. So one of the big things with Hulu was mobile first was hugely important to their implementation. So that's actually what I'm going to show you next. So you can see that I'm using some tools to help me render the Hulu Help Center as if I was on my mobile device. And you can see that that same site is able to scale. I'm able to consume this in a way that's much more mobile friendly. And one of the big benefits here is that I'm using the same technology. I'm not having to go and redesign or rebuild the site just for different experiences. And you can see it's all brand aligned. I have that same look and feel, as well as kind of calling out some different things within that mobile experience. All right. And then the next one that I am going to kind of call out here today is a customer, again, you may or may not have heard of, Lumber Liquidators. And I think one of the things that our customers, say to us too, is that, there's often an existing .com site, there's an existing portal, and it's not that they want to fully replace all of those technologies. They actually want Experience Cloud and their existing sites to exist side by side. And that's really an area that most of our customers go to market with. They're taking portions of that, client or agent portal, or portions of maybe a microsite for specific purposes here, in order to, in this case, there's kind of the idea center in this context, where we're pulling, again, information through the core platform on different subject areas, categorizing them. And again, this is all fully run on an Experience Cloud site where I can then go and I can log in to maybe view my account or view saved items. And then on the other side, this is a bit more of a lifestyle site. So again, rather than kind of the DIY, this is more of the lookbook for users who are trying to find some inspiration for their upcoming projects. So again, through microsites that are kind of connected in through Experience Cloud, connected to that main site, they're able to kind of quickly build and generate some content that's consumable through these sites, by utilizing also some of the existing information within their core CRM and connecting all of those front, middle, and back office processes all through these experiences as well. So those are a couple of the major examples that we had to show today. I know, Cooper, I'm going to give you the floor to kind of talk about the third one and our little call to action before we hand it back to CMS.
Yeah, thanks, Bree. Due to time, one example that we actually didn't go through that I would really advise everyone to check out is the website Ducati. If anyone does or does not have any motorcycles of their own, it's okay. But if you go to the Ducati garage, they've built a really unique customer experience in allowing you to build out your own customized garage in a virtual world. You can add your own motorcycles that you have that may not be Ducati specific, as well as build out your dream motorcycle within Ducati. It's a very unique way to allow your customers to interact with your brand, create their own experience, and really gather information on what is interesting to them. So if you're a Ducati, you now have information that a top client of yours is really into Harley Davidsons because they have 4 Harleys in their book now. And that is information that you've gathered that you might not have gathered before if you had just done your own kind of personal outreach. So just a really great example that I think is fun for you to go and explore on your own and is an interesting takeaway. So with that, we've talked about kind of creative examples outside of the space that we are all in financial services. I kind of want to tie that back. I want to bring it back and share a couple examples and pass it over to EMS, kind of dive through some things that they've done and some experiences that they have built.
All right, so I'm going to be going over the TEF, or Training and Employment Fund member self-service portal that EMS set up for the 1199 Service Employees Industry Union, or SEIU. What they were looking for was a all-encompassing portal for their members to come in and register for benefits, to be able to touch base with their staff, getting an all-encompassing view of the status of these types of requests that they were putting in, as well as lightening the load for their staff on the back end by adding automation to this process that allowed them to sort through the cases and things that their members were creating quicker and more efficiently. So 1199 SEU, actually, they're a healthcare union that offers benefits to the healthcare workers all throughout their union. So the healthcare organizations in New York will pay into these different funds of SEIU in order to offer their employees all the different benefits that are managed by the union. So this is things like pension and retirement, healthcare benefits, training and employment benefits, childcare and youth services, and there's plenty others as well. And what this member self portal provides for them is a way to view all of the educational and career programs that their members are eligible for. They can review descriptions of the programs and learn about prerequisites. They're able to register for classes and workshops, post events, and join events online or in person. You can upload documents, resumes, transcripts, and invoices. They're able to receive general member service assistance. A big part was scheduling an appointment, or self-scheduling the appointment with counselors, or as a regular member payments person to help get them through one of their processes, as well as find information and answers to questions via their help center, which is all knowledge and service cloud based. So I'm also going to show by example and just going into the community or the experience and kind of giving you a walkthrough here on what's going on with the MyTEF portal. So right off the bat, we're taking the scenario as a member who's just logged in for the first time, and one of the big things that TEF wanted to do was have an onboarding process, something that allows the member to get familiar with the community and provide all of the information that might not be up to date from the records that we're living in the TEF's legacy systems. So we threw that up right up front, gave them the ability to not only use this right away when the member logs in for the first time, but also customize it to set a date for this to reoccur. So I don't know, I don't know if you guys have this issue, but whenever my email or my address or something changes, I don't usually go into my accounts and change it. So this was a great way for them to pop that up and have a reminder to say, hey, have you changed your address or anything like that, and keep that information up to date and relevant, especially when it comes to the employment information here. So right off the bat, getting that information and getting to know their members a little bit better than what they had before. So we've landed here on the homepage, which is presenting to the member all of the different categories and programs where they can interact with and get assistance immediately through this self-service portal. I'm going to walk you through a couple of different scenarios. We're going to go through a pretty simple flow as well as a little bit more of a complex flow, just to kind of show what type of functionality EMS was able to deliver for TEF. So let's start out with the simple flow. You'll notice as we step through here, we're going through what we like to call a workflow. And this was something that, TEF knew that for each of their different programs, they might have a customized flow. You might have to get different information for one of their computer courses than what was needed for an education reimbursement. And so, we decided the best way to do that was to build something configurable and easy to maintain by the administrators of Salesforce. So as we go through here, you'll notice that a lot of these components are reusable components that all the user has to do, or the admin has to do, is place in a set order or add, different text values, and it can be reused in many different places. This provides the ability to grow and expand and change and scale without the need for a consulting company to come back in again and again, providing the power right to TEF to make their own changes and be in charge of this experience that they're building for their members. Another big piece of the MyTEF portal is the integration with a learning management system, and sometimes or also referred to as content management, but guided. So they wanted a way to allow their users to just log in and take online courses, enroll in events that were coming up. And so, by providing them an easy way to maintain this in their Salesforce org, the different events that they have, the different courses, and the different material that relates to each course, we're able to provide their members self-service to enroll in these courses, to take the courses, to get the status, everything, just simply through administrative and configuration settings. So a lot of power there. But this was the first flow. I'm going to take you through a little bit more of a complex flow and kind of highlight on some of the differences. So let's go here to the college level flows, and we're going to go into a college level program tuition assistance flow, and we'll request a voucher for a college program. So again, you'll notice, a lot of these components were reusing. Like this component here wasn't in the last flow, but all the administrator had to do was add it. It's an additional questions component. They need different information in this flow, so drag and drop it and you're good to go. Here's our self-scheduling or Lightning Scheduler implementation that we provided for them. So without having to call in or even contact the service department, they're able to schedule this appointment. Another big thing here in configurability, they've got the choice here. They've always had the choice to either meet in person or over the phone. Well, last year when this went live, they weren't offering in person because of everything that was going on. And with the click of a button, they were able to have this option not even show. And then a couple months ago, when they finally started reopening and having in-person appointments, all they had to do was click that same button and they were good to go to start doing in-person appointments. So, we just keep hitting on the ability for them to make these changes themselves, to be able to manage this experience for their members. was a huge benefit for them.
So we have to do it on yours.
So I'm just filling in a little bit of information here. I'm going to walk you through some of the actual self-service part of this community. Again, we're just coming through as a member who's trying to get a voucher to pay for a future college course. Did a little bit better than 2.0. So, I mentioned at the beginning, there's automation going on in the background. There's a lot of work in simplifying the process for the staff members who have to deal with the over 400,000 different members that will be accessing this community or this experience. When we come into this part, there's cases getting created on the back end that will live in different queues. So if I, as a member, started this process and then decided to back out or, go to lunch and not finish it, that's not going to show up on the staff member's radar, and it's not going to clog their to-do list. It knows that, well, this member hasn't finished the process yet, so I don't need to push that into their view. Another part here is, when it does finish it, we'll upload a document here. Step through the process. Again, lots of reusability on the components, just in separate spots. We did do an integration as well with a document sign. So just through this, we're able to request for them to fill out and sign a student release form and a W-4, all automated. So they're getting emails here to fill it out and sign it, sending it back. Statuses are getting updated automatically, things like that. So really nice stuff. So I'm showing you here from the member point of view, but I also wanted to show you just a quick look from the back end to show how much how much this community is helping the TEF service staff. This is the homepage that a TEF service member would land on every day when they start their day. We can see that immediately, we've got an open case here. That case is in a status of ready for review. It's been assigned to me because I was the one who had that service appointment. Their process here is to review all the information that was submitted, which includes some of those documents. And we provide them the ability to take action on these cases. So if as a staff member, I'm walking through here and I notice something is not correct or I have a question, I can communicate directly with the member by just clicking this request action button. You can either type in a question, request them to upload a certain type of document if they're missing one or maybe uploaded the incorrect thing. And the member's going to get an email. The member's going to get a notification. It's all automated here as well. We're also sending out emails, like I just mentioned at each stage here. So if I did end up backing out as a member at the beginning of this process, I'm going to be automatically receiving emails in 3-day increments to remind me that I have an open case and that I do need to take action. And we also have a process that, after a month, if we haven't gotten any movement on that case, it goes through a voiding process. So again, we're not clogging the staff's work with unactionable items. It's all actionable. Everything here that is ending up in front of a staff member is something that they can work with and actually move forward with. So I'm going to go back here to the member portal. And like I said, they would be receiving an email. And normally they would just click in a link and it would take them there. But just for the sake of the demo, kind of showing, what's displaying here. This is the visibility that the member is able to get. You're not making phone calls back and forth or anything like that. They're able to log in, see everything that they have going on for them. Where's the status of my voucher request? Well, it's ready for review right now, but I have an open task here. I have a question that I need to answer, and my case isn't going to move forward until I answer that. And I do have that counseling appointment that I can't forget about over here. And here's my enrollments and things that are going on. So again, just open visibility without having to make these calls and keeping our staff busy with things that we can provide them from this self-service aspect. So definitely a very full functioning community or experience that we've provided. They've had incredible user adoption in just the last couple of months that they've been live. And they're actually looking to expand here from New York into multiple states now that they've got their pilot program running. So just a great experience for EMS and TEF and 1199.
Mm-hmm. Okay, technology, don't we love it every day? So I'm going to go back to my presentation. Luckily, Jason is in the office today, so we're able to go to his computer and show our portal for customer support. As I was explaining, this is really a framework that we have used for customer service or customer support platform. In this particular case, it really was for banking or financial services. As a customer of the bank, I have logged into the customer support portal. You can see here that they see quite a bit on their homepage. It's all about quick, easy access. So if we look in the top left, we can see that Mike Smith is our customer who's signed on a little bit of information for validation there. And we can see on the homepage that he has complete visibility to anything that he has in process. If you look kind of down the middle, they've got the preferred branch. So he prefers to do everything through the Tampa branch. And when we first launched this, it was right when COVID had hit and banks were trying to figure out how can we become more virtual and help our customers out when our location is not open. But this is even good regardless, right? That a customer can see their preferred branch and the main contacts at that in their picture and contact information. You can see Tom Jones is the branch manager. They have the loan services, the insurance agent, and Damien. A lot of this is around, putting things in front of the customer too, around other products and services like their insurance and wealth advising. And it also shows anything that's in process. So we can see here that Mike Smith has actually started a loan application for a mortgage loan, and he's in the pre-app completed stage. So when we built this out, it was customer support in mind, but also what are the things in a bank when you have your customers logged in, you want them to be able to quickly get assistance when they need assistance. You want them to be able to submit requests. So you can see at the top, we have submit request, apply for a loan, and more. And Mike has already done quite a bit on the portal. He has already applied for a mortgage loan. He's got one open task that the actual bank can submit tasks for them to upload additional documentation in this case. He also has one case that he has submitted for some loan request maintenance, but he has no service appointments open. So the homepage is really, when they log in, what do I have open? I can start and stop processes. We know with a loan application that they quite often don't have everything they need to finish that. So they can log out, a couple of days later, finish it out. It'll start them right where they left off. And so when we look at over on the left, I like to call this kind of the collaboration center, where we're here to help. We have the functionality to allow them to schedule an appointment with different divisions of the bank, and we'll show that. The ability to chat now. So if they just want a quick answer and they want to do a live chat session, they have the ability to do that. And also just search for answers. The idea is really around self-service. if I can find the answer to my question or find materials or documentation, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that to show that experience. You can see here on the Help Center that we have laid this out in a way that makes it very easy for them to find the information, because this was built out for banking. You can see these tiles have bank accounts, card services, online banking, mortgage loans. So it's really basically clicking on the tile because I have a question about my banking account. And you can see here we're surfacing several articles. They can also go up here and just search for a keyword. But if I click on, I really want to understand how to do a direct deposit, then any knowledge articles that are related to setting up a direct deposit will come up. So different customers are able to create these knowledge articles. You can put really nice content in there. You can actually embed videos in there if it's a how-to video within these knowledge. Ask questions handled without them actually having to do a live chat or submit a request for a case. The other things we can do on a portal, you can see down here that we've actually embedded a video, which is Know Before You Owe for a mortgage. And the customers are able to embed these videos, keep that content fresh and relevant to what you want them to see at any given time. And this allows you to maintain the portal accounts, just anything within it's set up within the system. So I'm also going to look at, let's just say I don't really want to do a live chat just yet, but I'm looking at just requests. I want to submit a request. And you can see here that we've created these request types that are the most common request types for a bank: in credit card, debit card, deposit account, general assistance, insurance, loan request, mortgage request, open an account, wealth, invest, and even refer a friend. So if they're like, well, I have something around my credit card. So they click on request. We have these action types. It can be done different ways, but this was the easiest for that. And they just really want to increase their credit line. Something simple. Click on save. And so when these are submitted, it actually creates a case within Salesforce that's routed to the appropriate department within the bank that handles, in this case, credit card, increasing lines. And then those show up within the queues within Salesforce for that division to actually handle that credit card request for upping their limit. So we've put the main types out here, completely configurable, from types, from the verbiage, but it's a simple process for your customers to be able to request something. So I don't really want to chat. I don't want to get on a call. I just want to submit what I need, and I want you to help me with that, right? So the customer, once that case is resolved, they will either always see it on the portal, but they'll also get an email letting them know that that particular case has been resolved or there's an update on that case, and they can log into the portal and see that within the case. So you notice when I first logged in, I had a case, but now I have an additional one that just popped up here for that credit card request. And they're able to click on that. They can see the notes, the case notes, anything that's outstanding about that particular case. They also can do the chat session, the live chat session. That takes a little while to start the live, but it's basically just pops up and asks, can I help you? Normal chat functionality. This particular portal is using all Salesforce tools. So scheduling an appointment is Lightning Scheduler. Chat now is what we call digital engagement. And then search for answers is knowledge, a knowledge base within that. So a couple of quick things. We talked about the loan in this particular case. So they can actually apply for a loan, and they're able to see the different types. So mortgage loan, consumer loan, business loan, whichever type they want. They would click that and actually start in the actual loan application process at that point. In this case, because it's mortgage, it's going to ask them for the different types. We'll say it's a refinance. it starts them down the actual mortgage loan process with instructions to start, and then they will put in their loan property information, loan applicants, and eventually for the full app, they'll have their assets, liabilities, upload all the required documents, and do their disclosures, certificates, and authorizations. Won't go into that, but it's a complete automated workflow for a simple way for a customer to start a loan application for those different types. One more thing I wanted to show under the More tab is for a bank, they have a couple of choices. Most banks, almost all banks, I don't think I know of any that doesn't, they have online banking, but online banking is for your accounts, right? To pay your bills, to deposit money. And a lot of our banks are, but when they want to request assistance or schedule an appointment or do chat, or they want to apply for a loan, you can't really do that through online banking. So think of a customer service portal like this being something that handles everything. And online banking can be a subset of that. So they're logging in securely into this, and they can actually go into online banking from the portal, but they can do all these other things within the portal. And so it becomes that engagement and collaboration channel that they don't really have, or they have it in different places on their website. It's really hard for a consumer to see, where do I need to go? I just want to go and, talk to somebody about an auto loan and things like that. Some of the other features under here we have is, a quick way for them to see their accounts. And this is built on Financial Services Cloud. So the financial accounts I can see here, my checking account, my current balance, my savings account. He also has a HELOC loan in process. But the reason we display it all is it kind of reminds them, hey, the bank has investment accounts and insurance services, and I have no accounts under that. So we show that purposely so that it's always in front of them, that there's other services that the bank offers that you don't really have an account for. So always kind of doing that, marketing within the portal. And then they also have a place where they can set their goals up. You can see here that Mike has a goal for a new home. He can set up the target, but this can be both the customer doing it, but also the bank staff. If there's things that they're working on, can set those goals up in the back end in Salesforce, and then they can, basically both update those goals and look at where they're at for these different things. So quickly going back to the home page, again, collaboration center. I think Jason showed some of the scheduling appointment. It's using that same feature that he showed within the last portal to schedule that appointment. So that's it for the presentation on, more of the banking customer support portal, and I think we're opening it up to questions.
Linda, thank you so much, and appreciate even the flexibility with technical difficulties. Great to see all this. And before we just go into questions, just want to do a quick recap for everyone. I appreciate the time. You got to see 4 very unique examples of how Experience Cloud is utilized. One of the questions that we got talks about the different design examples, different visualizations were pretty different. So what is available out of the box versus requires a front-end designer or a front-end engineer? So Bree, do you have a good example or a good way to kind of describe what is available out of the box versus requires a little bit more work?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really great question. And I think it's really talking to some of the strengths of Experience Cloud. So you can think of Experience Cloud again as a platform. So it's really a tool with a broad range of capabilities. And you can think of those capabilities all the way from configuration, which is very drag and drop. There's properties such as like logo, colors, fonts, all of the kind of boxes that you see on the current screen are what we call components. And there's a number of out-of-the-box components that are, again, configurable based on the data. When you layer on top of that, you can also have custom components that you build and again are configured within this experience. And those custom components or Lightning Web components could even come from the App Exchange. Again, so you're not having to go and custom build those. You can also start to layer on small pieces of CSS or HTML, again, at this component level, or overwriting something, very simple within the builder itself, all the way through full kind of fledged custom CSS and templates that allow you to be really pixel perfect and brand aligned. So again, it would kind of come back to the level of what you want to align as far as that UI UX, if you want kind of that pixel perfect capability. And sometimes what we see from our customers is that they either have someone on their team that has those skills, or they leverage a partner like EMS to really customize and kind of drive that further brand alignment and UI UX within an Experience Cloud site. And one of the other things to kind of add into that is, because the builder and the platform is very flexible, you can do so iteratively. So you don't have to do everything at once. You can kind of start small and improve it over time as well. On EMS, I don't know if you want to add anything to that as well.
No, Bree, I think that was pretty concise and pretty clear. It just really speaks to the power and flexibility of the platform, fully customizable to be as intricate or as simplistic as you'd like it. I know Open Table is another example that utilizes the same kind of Experience Cloud. And you can see when you go to make a reservation, for instance, how simple and straightforward versus an example like this, which is more financial account based. It really just demonstrates the overall power of the platform, frankly. Linda or Jason, anything else you would add just from a technical component in terms of working with us, implementing a solution that fits those needs, integrations? Obviously, what we demonstrated today shows that more complex level.
No, absolutely. I mean, there are templates, as Bree said, that, allow you to set up a very simple community, but I think that most of our clients are going to want integration from the core banking platform or whatever their core is for their services, integrated into Salesforce so that we can see those financial accounts was from a core banking integration pulling into Salesforce. But if we start with a framework like this that we built out for customer service, we have changed this into not only banking, but in an insurance platform, even a retail platform for customers that needed, help from a retail standpoint and non-financial services using the same framework. So it's always good to go into it with, what are some of the features and functions that you're wanting to offer your customers to build that framework out.
Yeah, or partners too.
Yeah, partners is a good point. This is customer centric, but we've actually used this framework for brokers, like creating a broker portal for mortgage companies with the same type of functionality. But the view changes in that they're not seeing just one loan application. They're seeing all of their loan applications in process for their customers. So that would be more like a partner community.
Yep, and the Salesforce Experience Cloud platform is very robust, so it does give you that large ability to customize and fit things to a client's wish. But then you have partners like EMS who have worked with Experience Cloud for such a long time that we've built already accelerators that build upon that and give even further customization and flexibility while significantly shortening the time to implement that type of functionality that normally would take a lot longer to implement.
Jason, I think you said really one of the most important things there at the end. Everyone does get afraid of implementation time. So coming, to a partner that has a lot of experience like EMS, where you've got some stuff that's already kind of pre-configured to an extent, and you can make the changes and get creative as Experience Cloud allows you to without having to worry about too much customization and too much time. So there really is a lot of power within Experience Cloud. As I just kind of mentioned before, we went through a number of different examples, all different industries, all different visual formats, all with different results as well. I urge everyone here as a kind of takeaway, and I'll just kind of present our final takeaway point. So Jason and Orlinda, if you would mind, stop sharing your screen so I can kind of take over and share our contact information here. All right, here we go. Appreciate everyone's time. As I just kind of saying, like, there's a lot that can be done with Experience Cloud. So if you guys have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to me directly as well as JP. I'm over at EMS. If you work with a different account executive, please reach out to them and their team as well. We're happy to set up anytime, diving into some other customer experiences that maybe we didn't discuss today, and talk about ways that you guys can implement this yourselves, or work with additional partners to do so. So at this time, if there are no additional questions, as I don't see any coming in, we're going to give everyone about 2 minutes back on their day. I want to thank everyone for joining. And hope they have a great rest of their day, evening, wherever they may be, and a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.